Hello everyone, this is the great Lord and Master, Osiron the Eternal, for a follow-up video to yesterday's video. This is huge. This may even be the secret to Vortex Math and maybe why Vortex Math isn't working. You know, because I know there is a rodent coil out there, but I just don't know that it's working. But this might be the secret to that. Yesterday I made a video called Vortex Math and the Cube of Lord Osiron, but that's a 2D structure. Today I'm applying the same Vortex Math principles to the 3D cube, which just happens to be the Nordic Yggdrasil. The Yggdrasil is actually the 3D Vortex Math cube. You're going to see that in a minute. Okay, what we got here is the Yggdrasil. We've all seen this before. The Vortex Math Wheel, and I think I did a fine job drawing it this time. It's all symmetrical. And this is what happens when you use two Yggdrasil versions, one being built from the ground up and the other being built from the top down simultaneously. There's a dual action field being created. And this is 3D. In this structure, there isn't a line on here that's not being used. Every line that isn't being used isn't there. So everything on here is actually being used. Over here, there's lines not being used. But this is only half of the equation. And this also fixes the issue with the Yggdrasil I had of the construction of it, because it does build both ways, but it does something, and I think this is only going to be a fucking intro video to this particular concept here, because this is huge. I think this could very well be the secret to Vortex Math that people are missing, because this is big, and this follows the lines of Russalian Science, Walter Russell and his cube sphere model. I think an issue might be trying to create a toroid out of material matter and then expecting it to work in the cube sphere grid. I think what you do is you charge the cube sphere grid, which all my work is about, basically. You charge the cube sphere grid, and the energy field created is a toroid inside of the cube spheres. But I think that might be one of the problems, but I'm going to need to really analyze this for a while, I think. So I think this is going to be just an introduction video. I just want to get this documented. But here it is. Here's what happens with the Yggdrasil when you apply Vortex Math principles. Okay. You got 0 here, but here's 1, okay, and 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, 16 plus 16 is 32, 32 plus 32 is 64. So what it's doing is it's going over, in, out, over, in, out, something like that. I got it over here, I'll explain that in a second. But this is only half of the equation. Over here what you do is there's two simultaneous actions going on. You got a starting point from this one and a starting point from this one, and they work simultaneously. So as this one goes to 2, this upper one goes to 2, and you're going to notice that they both go to the masculine field at the same time. Okay? And then what happens is they both go back to the center at the same time. So 2 and 2 go back to 4 and 4. Boom, inside. Now we're inside. Now they both shoot out again back to the other side to the 8s, and one goes this way and one goes that way. And then they both go to the 7s. One goes here and one goes here. Now they both shoot back in again. Boom, boom. And then they shoot back to where they started. Boom and boom. All simultaneously happening. Okay, this is perfectly symmetrical, it's simultaneous action. But it's not, it's like both sides go to masculine at the same time and then shoot to the center. But it's not really shooting to the center because this is 2D. what really happens is this. Here's the journey of the downward motion, okay, and you'll see what these letters mean as I say it, okay. So we go from rear upper to, I'm using Yakin and Boaz to symbolize left and right, because there's no way I could have done it without using either an R or an F twice for either masculine and feminine or right and left. You know, it would have confused the whole thing. So I'm just using Boaz first and Yakin as the names for right and left, or masculine and feminine, because it's less confusion ultimately. Okay. So here's the downward path. Rear upper to Yakin upper is this, 1, 2, that. Yakin upper to front upper is this. Front upper downward to front lower is this. Now we're on the front lower. Front lower to Boaz rear is this. Boaz to rear lower is there. And then rear lower upward, back upward to rear upper. And that is the circuit for the downward. And now the upward circuit goes here. Front lower to Yakin lower to rear lower upward to rear upper to Boaz upper over here, Boaz upper to front upper here, back to that, and front upper downward to front lower, back to the start. And this is what's happening simultaneously. And it says here, Boaz and Yakin act as pure Kundalini conduits using 2 and 7 as agents, blood and electricity. The 7, as I've said in this series, represents the fluids of the body, blood, and 2 represents the material matter in its purest form, electricity. Okay? And you're going to notice the Kundalini agents are only these 2, Yakin and Boaz. Boaz is the 3s, and Yakin is the 6s. These over here are all the material numbers. The front and the rears are just the material, 4 and 5 and 1 and 8. But then again, 1 is Kundalini, and 5 is also Kundalini with the feminine aspect of the elements in the middle. So that's that. That's why that's like that. And then this is one of probably the biggest secrets of it all in regards to the Yggdrasil, in the aspect of 0 and 9. See, on the Yggdrasil as it's presented, 9 and 0 are shown externally, but they're not. 9 and 0 are the same point on the center point of the cube. 9 and 0 are actually the center point of the cube. Okay, and we see how that works in my video, you know, the tarot cube or something like that. The true tarot cube, I get into that. But so that's why that's like that. So these over here, these lines that are actually angling upward from 9 to 3 and 6, from 9 to 3 and 6 are actually in the center. And that's represented by these, I have them shown as arcs here. Arcs of green from 3 to 6. Okay? But what's really going on, it really, there's actually a center point that's 0 and 9, and I think that sort of has an activation aspect to it, depending on what's going on here, you know. So now the greens, I shorten them to go to the middle in loop like that, but that's just to show that they're going cross-angularly, you know. Because if you remember, all the angle points of the cube reduced to 9. We got 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, and then in the center 4 and 5. All those angles. So the Kundalini itself is actually going on angular patterns through the center of the cube. Okay? And that's why that's like that. So this is a quick video. I just wanted to show how Vortex Math applies to the 3-dimensional cube. Yesterday I did it in 2D. Check out that video. It's still a pretty good video. And there's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come with this. But thank you and namaste.